Something has got to happen because we can no longer go down the path that we're going down. This country won't last another 6 months. This country won't last another 12 months if something doesn't happen. So it's time to flip the switch. It's time to get involved. It's time to move the line forward. And if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. So I don't care what flip the switch is. I don't care if that means that all of this nonsense is nonsense, or if some of it's true. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, Warriors. Welcome, World Patriots, and my fellow Americans. My name is Mike. I'm the host of Liberty Warrior. Give me liberty or give me death. Today is Tuesday, the very first day of March 2022. Can you guys believe that? We are March 1st. It's almost the end of the first quarter, and spring is just about sprung. I think it has kind of here in Oklahoma for I don't know, at least a few more days, and then it's going to sprung back to 50 degrees. But right now, it is 72 degrees and warm, and I am, I'm in another half shirt because it's warm. That's all I can say is it's warm. I had to turn the heat off. It's so warm. So, hello to everybody. Hello, Blessed in Ohio. I had the pleasure of meeting Blessed in Ohio this afternoon on a Zoom call for lwnfliptheswitch.com. And so that was really a pleasure meeting her for the first time on the Zoom call and get to know her and Katie. So I don't know if Katie's listening tonight or not, but thanks for the conversation today. Really appreciate it. So tonight we've got the Affidavit Mamas with us, and we are going to talk about I don't know, some stuff going on in New York, folks. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring both of them in. We got Rosemary tonight, and we also have Deborah.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? How are you both young ladies doing tonight?
We are doing fine.
We're doing good.
All right. Well, I'm enjoying the weather here in Beaver, Oklahoma, and it's going from -3, 4 degrees with the highs in the teens and sometimes the 20s to 72 degrees today. I had to cut the sleeves off my shirt. It was so hot, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the weather here in Beaver.
It does make you like the cooler weather.
Yeah, it's almost the warm weather is almost here, and I think it's gonna really make a lot of people happy. I know a lot of people in my circle will be happy with warmer temperatures and getting out and actually doing things instead of being stuck in the house with cabin fever. So, all right, ladies, I'm going to go ahead and just pray us in real quick, and then I'll give you the floor, and we'll get started on the conversation tonight. I know a lot of people are probably wondering what we're talking about as far as camps in New York City, but you guys will explain that here in a minute. So, dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you this evening, Lord, and thank you for another blessed opportunity for all of us to join together here on this interweb and be able to have conversations and share information. Lord, thank you for all the viewers tonight and the subscribers, new subscribers that have come on board. Lord, thank you for all of them and keep them safe tonight. And let's just have a nice conversation that's just joyful, to be honest with you, Lord. I'm full of joy today, and I couldn't be happier. And thank you for Deborah and Rosemary coming on the show again tonight, Lord. We love these ladies so much, and we appreciate all the hard work and dedication that they put into trying to help us see the path before us to take our country back, Lord. And we thank you for that. We give all the praise and the honor and the glory to you and your Son. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. Well, let's have it. What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about New York, if that's where you want to start.
Well, we probably should start with New York.
All right. Let's start with New York.
So we have a decent sized Telegram group in New York. We've worked with several people, and they've all come together for the most part in New York, and we've done various different things. And I got a phone call from one of the ladies a month or so ago saying that the governor was trying to push through a bill in the legislature, both in the House and the Senate, that would create internment camps for people who were not vaccinated or whom they deemed were potentially dangerous because of whatever. And they get to decide. Well, so we did a notice. We put it on the JOT form, as we've talked about before, and the legislature received 2,100 emails from people doing the JOT form. Plus, they did signings and turned in paper besides. And the legislature decided they just weren't going to deal with this bill, so they tabled it. Well, the governor was not pleased with this arrangement, so she decided she'd do a workaround and get it into the Department of Health committee and get it made into a regulation instead of into a law. And she's gotten that done. So the Department of Health are all, for the most part, Democrats, and they just rubber stamped it and put it into play. This same person who called me the first time called me the second time, saying now it was an emergency because of it going into the Department of Health committee, and that not very far. She's, I think, in northern New York, and
Okay.
and she said about a half an hour from where she lives is one of these camps already, with barbed wire around it and Chinese soldiers inside. Okay, so I immediately did another notice, and then right after that, an affidavit, and to the governor and to the Department of, I mean the the Department of Health committee. And so you have those documents, Mike, tonight, that can be accessed by everybody who's on here and be printed and sent in. We don't have the notice in a jot form yet. And so when we do get that, we probably can share it with you so you can share it with your listeners.
Okay.
So at this point in time, like for instance, last night I was talking to one of the other ladies, and they were in Phoenix, New York, doing a signing. They have another signing for the notice on Thursday night. They're frantically trying to get a bunch of the actual documents signed and sent into the governor and to the Department of Health.
So what would those affidavits? What are they requesting, or what are you trying to accomplish for the state of New York for those documents?
What we're telling them in those documents is that what they're doing is unconstitutional, because every single constitution in the United States says that every person has a right to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, their private property, which includes themselves. Your own self is your private property. And those things are, the words that are in there are inalienable, indefeasible, that sort of thing. They can't be violated according to the Constitution. And so there's they're not real long documents because we didn't want them to be long. We wanted them to be pointed and sharp instead. And so they're quoting New York Constitution and saying, you must stop this.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Are there photos and stuff of these camps in New York?
We probably could get them.
Okay, just curious. And they're upstate New York?
I believe that's where Tammy is, right, Rosemary?
I think so, and I think Dusty and them are near Rome.
Right.
And Rome, New York?
Yeah, is Syracuse in northern New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both like on other sides of Syracuse.
Okay, and there's multiple camps or just the one?
We do not know.
Okay. And so the people that are letting you guys know about these camps said that they saw Chinese soldiers there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we do know in Canada that they have had Chinese soldiers on the Canadian border. I think, if I remember correctly, it's somewhere above Vancouver. But so that's on the other side of the country, on the west side. Right. That doesn't mean they don't have any over here on the east side of the country. And I don't know. It's definitely concerning for sure. I think we need to dive deeper into this and find out what the heck is going on. What are these camps for? I do know this. I've reported on this out of New York that the state of New York, they do want to push this whole thing of vacation passports. They don't like the fact of people not complying to that. They have made mention, even the Democrat Party has made mention of we should just put them all in camps. And we've seen all kinds of stuff across the internet in the last handful of months about camps here, camps there. Um, it's something that I feel like we should all be aware of, and if we can get the documentation for that, the photos and stuff to see, it's
Well,
something that I think we all need to join in and fight against. Absolutely.
they'll take pictures for us, no question about it. The other thing I was going to say is I have knowledge through our Telegram groups that they also have camps in Washington and Oregon.
Washington
It's,
State,
and
Oregon State.
It's not just New York.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to do some homework here because I'd like to
Yes.
know that too. I'm not far from those two states.
Yep. We need to get on the ball here and start telling them that they don't have all these rights that they think that they do.
Well,
Exactly.
and the people are in a panic about it, of course, because the ones we're working with, none of them got the shot, and
Yeah, I've
So
got family up there, so I'm worried about them too.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's speculation on what the camps are for, but you guys feel like it could be used for unvacationed people. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, what their language in their workaround said was that these would be used for people who were the word is leaving my brain, for potentially infectious people,
Okay.
potentially even. And so then, I mean, who decides that?
Mm-hmm.
Great question. Who does decide that?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's strange about this is we haven't heard a lot in the news lately about the sickness because of what's going on in Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah, it's a
And
distraction.
I said many months ago that eventually someday the sickness is going to magically disappear. And it's just not going to be around anymore. But if they're using that for distraction, exactly what are they doing over here? It's alarming to say the least.
Yes.
Well, and I think this is the start of more to come. I think they're going to try and pass different things in different places that we're not going to be able to keep our eye on. And then it'll happen and we'll say, wait a minute, we didn't even hear about this. And I think that's why those distractions are there.
Viking King is saying New Paltzy, New York. Is that the location? Viking King, is that where this is supposed to be? Do you have any other information on that? Viking King, I saw that pop up in chat. I'm reading chat right now. They like to help with the information.
Right.
Sure.
I went out and saw it myself. Correct.
Oh man. Okay.
So he said he's went out and seen it himself.
Mm-hmm. Well,
now that's crazy.
It is crazy, and they're saying it's the whole big barbed wire around the top and the whole 9 yards with the Chinese inside guarding.
Yep.
So
we sent you the stuff that we have. I think it's an affidavit. Is that right, Deborah?
It's both. There's a notice and an affidavit.
And then we also sent your staff the mailing list so that that can be put in there for everybody to be able to make their copies and send them out. We don't know if it's going to make a change at this point, but it did at one point, but we'll have to see if we can make it permanent this time.
So let me just go over for a second what the difference between the notice and affidavit is so that people will know, if that's all right with you, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So the notice is at the end of it is simply an autograph and the date. There's no notarizing that's involved with that at all. But everything, both documents should be printed out on 8.5 by 14 paper, legal size paper. And so if you want to send the notice, you can print that out and just autograph it and date it and send it certified mail to the people on the list. If you're going to use the affidavit, it's still put on legal size paper, and but that requires a notary, which you
Okay.
can go to your bank and get it notarized, or wherever. But and then that's sent certified mail as well, with a return receipt is a good idea.
So
Well,
Viking
I'm sorry,
King is.
one more
Yeah, go
thing.
ahead.
Keep your original and send a copy. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, I put it up on screen. Viking King has been there, and he says they were watching us with binoculars. GPS came up with a restricted area warning. He said that there were guard dogs, Chinese soldiers, big fences, big buildings. Wow. It's pretty crazy stuff, to be honest with you.
Yes, it is.
It's definitely piqued my interest. I would definitely like to find out more about this and report on it. What's going on? Why are they here? The other thing is what Rosemary said. Washington State, over on the West Coast. That's not far from me. If we had any kind of GPS coordinates for that, I might just hop in the old Chevy and drive over there and see
Yeah.
if I can't report on it if I don't get my ass thrown in and behind the fence. But I think it's important for us to check it out.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, until Deborah said it, I didn't know it was on the West Coast. I thought it was just strictly up in New York. So that's even new information for me today.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's just craziness. And, we theoretically live in this free country, and, they're trying to start making us into Australia. And it's not good at all. And we need to be extremely proactive, which is why we thought we should tell you about it and get your people involved in this.
Yes, we definitely need to get ahead of this and not wait until it's too late.
Right.
Man, just with everything going on in the world right now and how high tensions are, China's been staying very, very quiet during this whole thing. They
Yep.
did a flyover. They did a flyover in Taiwan a few days ago, but other than that, I haven't heard anything out of China, and maybe that's because they're over here. I don't know.
Well, yes, apparently they are, to some extent anyway.
You guys pay attention to Viking King in the chat. He seems to be putting out quite a bit of information about it because he was there. Yeah, pretty crazy. And the
That's good. I'm glad that we have a
truckers on the
better person.
So we got truckers. The truckers are heading toward DC. I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe there might be one of those moments where the bubble burst. You know what I mean?
I think it's coming.
I do too. I feel like it's going to come. I don't know when, of course, but in the meantime, we can't let up for a second. We can't take a breath. We can't stop doing what we're doing.
No, and the question is why are Chinese troops in New York, and why is the military not doing anything? Those are all great questions, Clayton. I don't know. I don't know. These guys are just bringing it to us tonight. There's going to have to be a lot of work done to try to figure out what's truly going on there.
And Shannon is saying that the Chinese troops are UN troops, which is possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's very possible.
Well, Canada reported that they did have a UN plane in there at one point when they had brought the people in. So, more than likely.
Yeah. Tracy Q, can you drop the link to this show tonight in chat again, please? So Rosemary needs to pick it up and send it out. So if you can drop it in chat, that'd be great again. Thank you. So Viking King is saying New Plaza is near New York City. Um,
Well, we'll have to get our people to get pictures because I know they'll take them. I know they will.
absolutely.
And then we'll send them to you.
Okay.
Well, and it sounds like they're really hitting the blue states because, I mean, you know, New York, Washington, and Oregon, they're all blue.
Right.
Huh. Man, all kinds of things seem like popping off in chat. There it says breaking. It's true. Eric Comer arrested 8 hours ago. I mean, what the heck is going on? About 2 hours north of Hudson is where Viking King is saying the Chinese troops are. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Pretty amazing stuff. What about Michigan? Man, I don't know. I think
Lori's saying that there's one on the North Shore.
if they even think that they're coming here, they are in for a big surprise.
No kidding.
That's all I'm gonna say.
They have completely underestimated the grassroots people in this country.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing when you see the truckers going across, how many people are standing at the side of the road and over bridges. It's amazing. It just, makes you smile and just gets you completely excited to know that there's that many people that are still positive, about being involved and showing, that they care and that they want all this stuff to go right.
You can look up the camps. They're listed online.
Of course they are. Oh my gosh. They don't try and hide anything anymore.
Not anymore.
They're just right out there with it because they think they can.
Long Duck Road ? I think Viking King put that in just a little bit ago. I don't know, folks. It's the first I've heard of it. That's for sure. Deputy sheriff thought it was strange. Went to talk to them. Said no English. Told the sheriff. Next day, FBI showed up and talked to the deputy. So what's going on, folks? We better start really paying attention because we're getting distracted.
Sheriffs don't have any authority. They have better authority than the sheriffs.
Yeah, why isn't the sheriff removing those guys?
Exactly. Well, and if it's that close, just think of all the other states that are involved near New York. I mean, you've got Maine and New Hampshire and Massachusetts,
Rhode Island,
and
Jersey.
They could pull anybody, over and drop them in there.
It would be easy.
So this is pretty.
Anything else that you want to talk about, ladies?
Well, we sent you several other documents as well, Mike, and one of them is a notice to impeach our Secretary of State.
Okay.
And it's filled out with her crimes, and so anyone again can print it. It's not on jot form yet, is it, Rose?
I did send them the link for jot form.
Okay, good.
So if they post that, they can just go right on there and sign it.
Yes. And so we need everybody on here to sign the jot form link for impeaching Katie Hobbs, who is our Secretary of State. That is the first domino in our plan of impeaching various different people in our government in Arizona. If you look at the notice, it's extremely simple, and it could be applied to almost any state. And so you might have to change a state constitution piece a little bit, but if you want to copy it and use it in your state to impeach people, do it. because you may impeach anybody that's in a government office.
Correct. Yeah.
That's not
Yes.
doing their job. They
Yep.
can definitely be taken care of.
Removed. Yep.
Yep.
Removed.
Mhm.
I'm gonna bounce back. I'm gonna bounce back real quick because there's all
Sure.
kinds of things popping off in chat here. Shannon says, "I wonder if it could be refugees also. Where did they all go?" So possibly referring to the Ukrainian refugees that America said they were going to take. So let me report on this real quick.
Okay.
There are a lot of neighboring countries that are accepting refugees out of Ukraine.
Mhm.
Yes, they were talking about bringing some of them here to America, but this would be my question with that comment: is why would we need Chinese? Why would we need any Chinese troops guarding refugees, and why would they be putting refugees in camps? Because we have an open southern border, and they don't put any of those people in camps.
Well,
They just let them. They just let them come on in.
Exactly.
So you
I
know,
don't know what they've done in other places, but they brought Afghan refugees,
Over in
supposedly
planes.
on planes into Chicago, into Phoenix, and they
Mhm.
put them in hotels,
Yep.
not in camps, in
yeah, in
hotels.
hotels on my dime, on your dime.
Yes.
Yep.
Taxpayer money. Yep,
And
I
then
did a
they've
report on that
disappeared.
too.
They're out of the. They're gone. They're just there. They're out.
Gotcha.
Well, they're
I don't
definitely
know.
moving them around, anyways, because they're doing flights at night into Florida and dropping them off there at 3 in the morning when no planes are supposed to be flying over their particular area, because at that time when people are sleeping, they have a no fly going on at that time in Florida so that they don't keep the people up all night long, but they're still bringing them in.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, man. There is so much going on in this country right now. We can't even keep up with everything that's out there. It's well, Jeff B said it best. We're gonna go from a garden hose to a fire hose, and I feel like that's happening right now. It's just
Exactly.
it's just turned on, and it's just coming faster than we can even report on it. And this here has definitely got my interest like peaked. I want to know
Mhm.
what the heck is going on. I want to know what's going on over on the West Coast, and if anybody can give me any kind of information on Oregon or Washington State, I may just have to make a trip over there.
Well, be careful.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I've learned a trick or two on reporting. So I've learned that you can actually use a spotting scope with your camera and on your phone, and you can actually zoom in from far away. So I'm not going to just go walking up to the gate and bang on the door. I think I'll stay a
A
healthy
little ways
distance
away.
away and see if I can see anything with a spotting scope. And if I can, I'll just record it with my phone.
There you
Right.
go. There you go. So the other thing that we sent you, and we can go back and forth with whatever
Mhm.
you want to talk about,
For
Mike,
sure.
but we sent you a notice that I had made for the signs over the expressways that say to still get the shot. I had made one for Arizona to tell them to stop their propaganda. And so that one again can be adapted to any other state in the union, and just use it to give your Department of Transportation the same notice saying stop the propaganda. We don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then what was the last one, Rose, that we sent them?
Well, Dave had wanted us to protect the audit information. And so we did 6 states and sent
Oh,
that
that's right.
over, all the jot forms for one for each state. And to mail them as well, the information is also attached to, I think, believe all of them. But come August or September, because they have a time limit that they said that they can hold on to everything, and if it's not protected, they're going to destroy it.
and what we're talking about is the ballots and the
Mhm.
and all of that.
Mhm.
We're demanding in that in all those 6 states, that they put the ballots, that they put all of the machine information, all that needs to be protected in a protected place so that
Mhm.
nothing will be destroyed. If they don't do that after having received that, after they've received this notice, then they have absolutely violated their trust indenture.
Okay.
Yep, and it's treason.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Gina makes a good comment here too. We need to make sure our information is credible. This scares people. This is all was talked about years ago. Jesse Ventura did a whole video on these camps, and I see a lot of people saying in camps. One comment was, "My son knew about these camps 15 years ago." Um,
Well, all I can say is the one that our person saw in New York wasn't there a while ago. Okay.
okay.
And it is there now. And so, you know, it just sort of, they pop up.
Well, and
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody in our chats would be going to the extreme levels that they are in order to get this information out if it wasn't true.
Right. Right.
I think some of these camps have been around for quite a while because I've done research on them and seen some of them too, but that does not mean that some of these aren't new camps. And
Right.
it is alarming if you've never seen one in that location before, and all of a sudden it pops up. That
Yes.
Mhm.
would be something. Again, why would there be any soldiers outside the United States in our borders? Period. Um, Viking King said he's seen it with his own eyes that there were Chinese troops with guard dogs. Why would they be in our country? I know that we do drills and all kinds of different training, but with the way the world is today, why would we be doing that?
Right.
Why would we
Right.
be doing that? I just don't think that that would be something that would be normal right now with the situations that we got in the world. So I don't know. It's frustrating. It's frustrating not having all the pieces of the puzzle right now, and we just got to stay vigilant and keep finding those pieces and putting it together.
Well, and the thing is that it's, I don't believe in coincidences at all. There's nothing coincidence. And so the fact that this whole thing with the bills trying to be passed through the legislature there, and then her workaround with the Department of Health, and this camp suddenly being there, it's not coincidental.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, and Viking King has given everybody the location, so people that live in that area, he's told you where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
You guys over there in New York can go check it out, see what you think, come back and report on it. Let us
Well,
know.
and another one
He's
that
told
caught
us his
my
opinion.
right. Another one that caught my eye was, I don't know if this is our Dusty, but Dusty Fuller said that the sheriff went and checked it out and saw them. Um, and so if a sheriff did it, then they've got to know.
Well, and the
Yeah.
thing with that is, if the sheriff went and checked it out, that means that it wasn't there before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
otherwise the sheriff would have known.
Kelly K says Monkey Works has a map of these. So Monkey Works, I like Monkey Works. He puts out a
Yeah,
lot of good stuff.
he does.
Um,
Yep, Dusty. It is our Dusty.
Gina,
She says, "Hi,
is
it's
it?
me."
Oh, great.
Gina, I'm sending
Amazing.
someone there. She's an attorney. So it sounds like Gina might be sending somebody there too. So Gina, I'd be
Very careful.
interested. I'd be
Be
careful,
careful.
but I'd be interested in hearing what she has to say, what your friend, the lawyer, has to say
Mm-hmm.
to you. Um,
Yeah. for
Well,
sure.
the more we get this out and the more we share it, the more people are going to know. And hopefully we can put a stop to it because,
Right.
oh, he said it's Route 32 2.
It's Route 32, 2 to 3 miles,
2 to
two
3
to three
miles.
miles
Okay.
out.
Right. So Dusty is one of our 2 contact people that I've been talking to regularly about this.
Okay.
She's in your chat,
Okay.
and she's saying, yeah, it's there, and you know, verifying what Viking King is saying.
Okay. Well, if I see her pop back up, I'll grab her comment.
Yes, and she was the one who was going to be in Phoenix, New York last night doing signings against this
Mm-hmm.
workaround thing that the governor had done, and then she's got signings again in another place tomorrow or Thursday night. They're frantically working to try
Mhm.
and get this stopped, and so we just need to support them.
Oh, there's pictures. Monkey's got some pictures
They're
from
saying that,
Mark. Yeah.
yeah, they're saying that Monkey has a lot of pictures too. So listen, this is my stance on it. This is my stance. I think it's important to be informed, whether those things have been there 100 years, 10 years, a month ago. I think it's something that we should never turn a blind eye to and just think, oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, no big deal. Moving on here. I think anybody in those areas that can help us get information, extract the information and the photos. It is a camp. It just seems like we need to not turn a blind eye to this, and
Nope.
I can't say that they've been there. It doesn't matter if they've been there for 10 years. It's very concerning to me. I mean,
Well, and the thing is that if a camp was there and unoccupied, and now it's occupied by foreign soldiers, then it's twice as concerning, you
yeah,
know?
Well,
yeah.
yeah, because they're not just staying there for a holiday.
Nope.
You know what, Karen? I'll reach out to Jeff and see if he knows anything. Um, Dusty, I'd love to have Mike on if you can send any information to Denise. She'll definitely work and try to get Mike on here. So you'll just have to you can send an email to libertywarriornation.com and we'll forward it on to Denise, and we'll see if we can get in touch with Mike. Let me take just a second here. Let me reach out to Jeff and just see if he's heard anything about these camps.
Okay.
I'll see what he responds.
Well, it's important because, with it passing the way it did, that means that they could start rounding people up at any point in time.
Yeah.
And they don't have to have a reason now.
No, because their wording is potentially infectious.
Yeah, so they don't even have to make sure you're a problem. They can just say you are.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's the problem. Is they just classify us all. They just classify us all in one big group and come at us. That's for sure. I don't know. I haven't heard anything from Mike Penny or out of Mike Penny for quite a while, so I have no idea, to be honest with you. I haven't seen him around. I don't know if he's even on anymore.
Okay. Well, that's all of these things we've been working on. And we wanted to alert your group to this New York situation, as well as the documents that are on jot form for the Secretary of State here in Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and for the audit, because that audit jot form is for Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and Georgia.
Yeah.
Telling all 6 of those states and detailing in the notice what they have obviously done wrong. So it's out there. It's obvious, and they better hold on to their balloting stuff.
Well, and
Wow.
I don't know, Mike, did you see that our group in Georgia, they took, I think it was 40,000 ballots into the Georgia
Affidavits.
affidavits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and dropped them off in the legislature. Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of action going on all around the country. A lot of affidavits being submitted in school boards, county commissioners, city council meetings. It's like a flood now. There are so many people joining this fight, joining Affidavit Mamas, joining David Jose, joining D Dog's group of people, and just they're really getting in the fight. And I think it's truly making a difference. I think it's scaring the hell out of the politicians. I don't think they like any of this.
Nope.
Matter of fact, I think a couple of them got up and walked out of one meeting because they weren't going to. They didn't want to look at the affidavits and they didn't want to honor any of that stuff. So they just got up and kind of walked out. Kind of tells you how big of cowards they truly are and how they don't believe in our system that has checks and balances. And we're here to check them. So I think we're going to get checkmate here really quick.
Well, I hope so. The affidavit, it's just too interesting because they think that they can just ignore these documents. And like I said, the notices are just autographed, but the affidavits are notarized, which makes them in itself a court of record that then can be taken to a grand jury as evidence without any more contesting it whatsoever, because they have agreed that what's in there is true because they never answered it. And what David keeps saying is the more people that know, the more people that are educated, the more that they can't hide anymore.
Yeah, check out this comment from Kim. She says, here in Michigan, Susan Beeson has been destroying ballots and deleting machines for a while now. And I heard that in one of these meetings, that one of the people had actually taken the affidavits and started tearing them up, like ripping them up, like old Pelosi, the drinker of the House, did with with Trump's State of the Union or address or whatever he did. She ripped it up. That's been going on too, and it's really disturbing that our elected officials are treating affidavits and legal documentation like this. They're tearing it up because they know they're in trouble. They're in some quicksand, and I think they're going to sink real fast.
They are, and that is the reason you keep the original and send them a copy, okay? Because you have the original to be used in the grand jury later then.
Well, and not only that, but as people are videotaping it and showing it that they're delivering them, that's all we need. They have received them. That's the part that they're not getting it. Whether you open it, look at it, read it, it doesn't matter.
No.
You received it the moment those people gave it to you, and game over. You're done. So
Well,
you can rip them up all you want. Doesn't matter.
How do you ladies feel about taking some live callers?
Sure.
All right. Let me drop the link. Anybody that wanted to call in and make comment or have a question or any information you want to share, there's the link if you guys want to jump up here real quick. We'll take a few callers, handful of them. Yeah, it's just you have been served. EBS, you have been served. Absolutely.
Yep.
That's the second best quote to "you're fired."
Yeah. It's becoming very popular.
Yes.
And we
All
like
right.
it when we get to see those videos. Those videos mean a lot. And the more they post them, the more they show them and get them out there, nobody can hide from that. That's the reason why we've always said if you're going to hand deliver them, videotape it. Even if it's on your school board video, them receiving it, like I said, game over.
All right. Hey, we got our first caller, T. Lee. Let's see what she has to say.
Excellent.
Hey, y'all, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep, 5x5. Go ahead.
All right. My question is, you know about Rome. Do you know if there is any in Western New York? Because I can't find anything.
We don't know. We're in Arizona, and so our information is coming from people that we absolutely trust. One of them is on the chat right now in New York, and so we don't know where other camps are. We just know that our people have seen them.
Okay. Who is your person in chat?
Dusty Fuller.
You can ask her and see if she has any more information. But was it Viking King was saying
Yeah.
that Monkeyworks has pictures and maps.
Oh,
So it's very possible that if you go there, you might be able to find your area and see.
I'm sorry. I like Monkey Works, but he just drives me crazy. I don't understand all the stuff he puts up,
I
and
know.
I just don't care to go to that particular person or his
Yeah.
website. So,
Well, anyway, Dusty Fuller is one of our contacts. We've got a couple more in New York that we talk to on a regular basis. We've done a lot of affidavits and notices with them, and we know that they're right on top of it and honorable and truthful. And so I'm sorry we can't help you with more knowledge.
Dusty
okay.
says we have information, but Viking King says we caught the Capriello video on Rumble, then researched to find the location and went.
Okay.
So there might be a little homework there for you to have to do to find out where the locations are in your state.
Well, that's going to be a little hard without a phone. All right. Thank y'all. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
All right. We have a couple other people that want to call in and don't know how, and you guys are on your phone. So I'll drop the link. I'll drop the link in chat again. So as you're watching the show, you just click on that link in chat, and it'll pop you up to a window, and I can try to walk you through some of that stuff. Sometimes it's just trial and error. So here's the link again. Gina H, Amy, if you guys want to try to call in. It takes a minute to kind of get used to it, but just don't use DuckDuckGo for your web browser, or we won't get any volume from you.
Mm. So is this the first time you're hearing about this, Mike, or had you heard any rumors or?
The one in New York, yes, but I've heard of several around the country, what they call the green zones.
Okay.
And those were very similar to what you guys are talking about, which was areas that they would take people, like you said, that could be questionably dangerous to society for sickness or whatever. I read it on the CDC website, actually. I think Jeff B and I did a show on it with Shane. And, I haven't seen anything that's alarming yet, but it's definitely concerning to know that any of these camps are up. And I'm not saying that we're all going to get rounded up. I'm not saying any of that stuff, but man, we need to be aware. We need to be aware of what's going on. We can't just sit there and think, oh, it'll never happen to me. And then next thing you know, it's happening to you. So just pay attention.
And people in these other states, if you find a camp that's functioning with people in it who are guarding it, then you need to let us know so that we can modify the New York notice and affidavit and get it to you so you can turn it in. We will do that.
Yep, absolutely.
It's not that hard to modify them. They just need to be adapted to the state that it's going to. And once we know which state it's going to, then I'm usually the one who's doing it, and I just use the state constitution that applies, and it's not that hard.
Amy says, "I'm so electronically challenged." I'll work with you the best I can, Amy. If you want to try to call in, I just dropped the link again. Just you see it in your chat. It'll be highlighted in yellow. You just click on that. It'll open a new window. It'll ask for your name, and then it'll ask to use your. Jeff B just texted me back. He says he has not heard of it in the camps that we're talking about in New York. I'll just ask him if he can check on it for us. Okay, he's checking on it.
Okay.
He sent
Well,
out
we
a
knew that
text.
this would be a hot topic, so that's the reason why we
Yeah,
thought,
we
you know,
don't want to
bringing it.
frighten people.
No.
That's not the point. The point is to be aware and proactive.
Exactly. And we don't know who they would be putting in any camp like that, folks, because they're asking who would they put in those camps. We have no idea. It could be refugees. It could be unvaxxed. It could be a lot of different. It could be me. I don't know, but I just find it strange that they put refugees in camps like that when they're allowing our southern border to be absolutely destroyed, and they're not putting any of those people in camps. So why would they put refugees in camps? That's my only, I guess, opinion of that.
I don't see that happening. Not when they're putting them up in Holiday Inns here in Phoenix.
Yep, and we're paying for it.
Yep.
Yep. They're giving them money when they cross. They're giving them all kinds of
New clothes,
help.
new phone.
Yep.
They're giving them ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. They're making, and sending them off.
So we know that these people are here. I've can't say for sure, but the other day I was leaving a friend's and I had to stop at a gas station, and the people that were asking me for money weren't speaking any English, and they definitely had a different accent, not Spanish. So I was kind of like, whoa, they're already up here.
Yeah, well, they've been here for a while.
Right. But they weren't out as much when they first got up here. Now they're out and about. Now they're moving around.
Well, this is something else that I want to tell everybody. I don't live in fear. My
No.
faith is in God.
Yeah.
This is just information that we're bringing to your attention, and you guys can do with it what you want. And if there are people in the area that can check it out, that's even better. Viking King has already seen it with his own eyes. He's let all you guys in chat know. I put it up on screen, the things that he was putting out. So if you missed it, you can always rewind and watch it again and see the comments that I put up from Viking King. So, and he even told you guys right where it's at. So we'll do some more looking into this and find out. Like I said, I've looked into this before. The CDC, you can go right to the CDC website and type in green zones, I think it is, or you might even be able to Google green zones and it'll pop up. It talks about it at first. At first, I was a little frightened about it. I started reading what they were putting out. And then, until I actually see something going on like this in New York, I don't worry about it too much, because until it actually starts manifesting, I'm definitely not going to freak out about it. I know that I'm safe. I know that I got plenty of protection. I know I got plenty of family and friends that would all unite. And unless they come get me in the middle of the night, I guess I'm pretty safe.
I saw a question from Tammy. They had a car. So if they took their money and bought a car, that would be the reason why they started asking me for money.
Yeah. Well, and you're absolutely right, Mike. I'm a pastor, right? And so, I mean, I was preaching on this on Sunday. There is absolutely no fear required with somebody who has God in their life. No fear. It's just not part of the program. Fear is from Satan.
Well, we got Dusty calling in, so let's see what Dusty has to say.
Good.
Hello, Dusty. Welcome to the show. You there, Dusty? She may not have her mic.
Oh.
Turn your mic on, Dusty.
You there, Dusty? If you use DuckDuckGo for your web browser, it will not allow you to have your mic. You'll have to go back and change your web browser to Google or something else, and then you can come back in. It's the only way to do it. And I know a lot of us use DuckDuckGo now, and it just won't allow you for some reason.
Okay.
Well, ladies, I appreciate you hopping on here. I've dropped the link a few times here to see if anybody else wants to hop up. Has a
we've
question,
got some,
comment. There.
We'll be on next week with you.
Yep.
And we have another hot topic, and that is 5G. So everybody can tune in. We would like to bring the person that's been telling us all about it. He's a professor here in Arizona, and he has a PowerPoint slide, and he does all this knowledge and teaching. So it will be completely packed with tons and tons of information if you don't know a lot about 5G. So we hope that everybody will want to tune in for that one. It's going to be pretty amazing. He's pretty amazing, really. I mean, once you
and
hear
we've
him.
done notices. We haven't gotten to the affidavit stage, but we've done notices about this for Tucson, Arizona.
Really?
Yes, and so they're about to be released into the world here, and so.
And so, what does that look like, Deborah? What does a notice look like about 5G? What are you guys trying to?
Oh my goodness! Oh my! This was like oh my goodness! So first of all, let me just say I knew nothing about this topic, and so which is, I mean, you know, I know what I know, but then I know nothing about this to start with. And so he sent me pages upon pages of stuff to read. And so, and that got me, you know, interested in it. And so, but what that meant was the Tucson City Council, just for saying, was saying that their hands were tied. They couldn't do anything except permit the erection of these towers wherever the various companies were wanting to put them. They're saying they can't do anything. Well, and so our fellow who's going to speak to you, he gave me a bunch of Federal Communication Act information, but then he also gave me state statute that to refer to. Well, so I did an extremely deep dive into our Arizona city and town statutes to see what it was saying about small cell towers, the 5G towers. And they're just lying. They're just lying. It's just not true. And so in this particular case, I wrote the notice, you know, point by point, making the case using the Arizona statutes that this is the way it says, this is what it says, this is what it says, this is what it says, one after another, showing that there's no question that if they just would quit being lazy and taking money, they would be able to control the permitting of these, because what they're doing is they're putting them like 20 or 30 feet from people's houses.
Yeah.
And the frequencies of these things are damaging. They're not safe for those people in those houses then. And so anyway, I wrote the first one based on the city and town statutes a lot. And then the second one, I did a deep dive into the criminal code in Arizona.
Wow.
And found some fascinating material. that I put into the second one as well, along with Arizona Constitution,
Okay.
and so yes,
We hope to
I'm
have that
looking.
one ready for you by next week.
yes,
The
I'm
jot
looking
forms.
forward. I'm
It's-
looking forward to that show because I got a lot of questions about 5G.
yes,
Right. And he's so knowledgeable. He will definitely blow your socks off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you heard it here, folks. Stay tuned. Next week, we're going to have the Affidavit Mamas back on here, and they're bringing a professor to talk about the side effects of 5G. And so we're going to share it here.
Yep.
Lots of things you never knew.
Okay.
It's not
I got
good.
some.
It's
I got
not
somebody-
good at all.
I got Patriot Missile saying that they're in Sheridan, Oregon. So I don't know, Patriot Missile, are you talking about the camps? Because if they are, that's something that I might be able to go check out. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. Well, thank you, Dusty. She's backstage. She's actually been private chatting us, and she can't figure out how to get the mic on, but that's fine. And she says that it sounded like Mike would agree to talk to me.
Yeah,
Is that what she said?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's what
Yep.
she said.
Said
She
he would
said-
talk to you. Yep.
So it sounds like we can maybe get Mike on the show.
Good.
There you go.
That would be very interesting to do an interview with him. So, Rosemary, you can go ahead and share Denise's email with Dusty and get that over to Mike, and Denise can talk to him.
You bet.
All right.
Definitely.
So Denise is saying that you guys are back on with me tomorrow on Podbean,
Yes,
right?
I
Yes,
didn't know
we
whether
are.
we should mention that or not.
Yeah.
We're back on Podbean tomorrow with one of the pilots that I have been helping and doing notices and affidavits for. And he has a whole bunch to share with you about the airlines and masks and all of that stuff related to that. And then the following week, it's going to be more. So, and later on, is it next week that we're on with the firefighters, Rosemary?
Yep. We got firefighters on board
Okay.
too, guys.
We got firefighters coming. Listen, the next couple of weeks, Denise called me and said, "You better buckle up, Buttercup, because we got a lot going on." And she's awesome. She put that in the chat so it catch my attention. And thank you, Denise. So Denise is my producer, and
Thanks, Denise.
she's backstage, always on the phone and emails with everybody trying to get these shows lined up. So thank you, Denise, for all your hard work, and thank you, Brad. Her wonderful husband. He's always got something to say in the background when I'm on the phone with Denise. So appreciate it.
Well, we weren't sure,
If we
how
should
to-
say anything about
Yeah.
that or not. But
so, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to Podbean. So I had some technical difficulties earlier this week on Podbean, but I think I got them worked out. I got to do a test, and then we should be good to go.
yeah.
Right. And that's going to be our first time on there. So
You're going to love it. You don't have to talk in code.
that's
Well,
going to be good too.
That's very good.
Yeah, especially with the pilot and the firefighters because
Yes.
they're not
Yeah.
used to talking in code.
No.
Awesome. All right, ladies, let's just roll into final thought here, and we'll go ahead and get out of here for the evening. I'm going to start with Deborah first. Deborah,
All right.
your final thought.
Well,
Final
I
thought.
just want everyone to look at these documents and print them and send them in. It's vitally important. Fill out the jot forms that are there and send those in. If you're not going to print, that's fine. But do the jot forms at the very least. And pay attention to what's going on around you. But don't be in fear. That's not necessary at all.
Correct. God's got this. We just have to pay attention.
Yes.
And you guys, Tracy Q's dropped their link in chat several times. If you can't find their link, you can go to libertywarriornation.com, and we do have a link to the Affidavit Mamas up in the top left-hand corner. I think it's an action button there. If you click on that, it'll open a window, and it'll take you right to Affidavit Mamas. You click on that link, it takes you right to their webpage. So check it out. They've got a lot of amazing information, that's for sure. Rosemary, your final thought?
Uh, we just want everybody to know how important that this really is, and whatever you think that you can possibly do is at least something. And the jot forms are extremely easy. You click on the link, it brings it up. You can read what we've posted there. You just put in your name, you sign it, put a date, and it's off. It's off to everybody that we've already put inside the link, from governors to House, Senate to everybody involved. And this way, you can also receive a copy yourself, and then you can turn around and mail it if you wish. But the more we get this information out, the more we start talking about it and letting other people know exactly what's going on, the better it's going to be. We can't hide this stuff anymore. And we need to be strong enough to do even the smallest of things, from home, from your cell phone, from your computer, so that you can, definitely um, be involved. And that's what we hear all the time, is that people don't know what to say or do, and this gives you that opportunity to do something. And yeah, you might not live in New York, but that doesn't mean it's not going to affect you, because somebody else could be living there. Or like I found out tonight, Washington, Oregon. This is the United States, guys. We stand up for each other. We protect our country, and this is what we have to do in order to save us. So whether it's, doing it for the audit, whether it's doing it to remove somebody from a government position that shouldn't be there because they're corrupt, whether it's, protecting somebody in another state. What are our truckers doing? They're going from all over to Washington so that they can protect and give us our liberties. Not that we lost them, we never lost them. It's just that this is a way to show the people that there's something that can be done. And if you look at those videos and it warms your heart, and you see the people with the flags standing by the side of the road, then just join in, do one little thing, and before you know it, you're going to feel good because you participated in something.
Right.
But know your constitution. Everybody has to know their state constitution. If you know it, you are powerful. So the more you read it, if you don't understand it, email us. We'll help you understand it. We can even go through it with you. We do it all the time with people on our chats in Telegram. But knowing your constitution will give you so much power that you never knew before. So learn that one, start there, go through your Bill of Rights, look at your preamble. And in itself, it tells you under God. And it's, that the people are coming together, and this is done because of God. So we need to just band together, do what we've got to do. It's a little bit of reading. Everybody can get on ballotpedia.com and look it up. It's right there. You don't need to go anywhere else. And just see what it says, because as you start to read it, it will tell you that all men, all, that doesn't mean in one state or another. It means all men are have these inalienable rights that were given to them, and you have to understand that this is something that has been kept from us, and we glanced over it through school, and we didn't understand it. We didn't, do what we were supposed to do by learning it before, but we've got to learn it now. It's important. And I think the more you guys do, the more powerful you'll feel.
Amen. Amen. My final thought for tonight is this, and I agree with both of you of what you're saying. It's important that we all realize we have a part to play, and the affidavits have a big part to play not here just on LWN, but across the nation. And we're bringing people together. We're uniting people, and we're putting out information, and we're also showing you guys a roadmap on what needs to be done and how to do it. And I know that you guys have a lot of questions, but these gals come on quite frequently with us and try to explain it to you how to do it. And listen, they're great. If you reach out to them, you go to the website, reach out to them, they'll be glad to take the time and walk you through some of this stuff, because I know it can be overwhelming at times, but that's what they're there for. And it's really, once you do one or two of them, boy, you're a soldier, because it's really not that hard. It takes less than 5 minutes to fill a lot of this stuff out. If you got 5 minutes to spare, you can fill out an affidavit, and you can serve the people in your county, in your state, in your city, affidavits, if that's what is what's required. And so it's a very powerful tool that I think we've all overlooked. And I think you're right as well, Rosemary, not paying attention and not reading the Constitution of your state and knowing it inside and out makes us powerless. And if we can all join together and start learning those constitutions and teaching our kids how to read that Constitution, it empowers a whole generation of people. So that's my final thought for tonight. Thank you, ladies, for jumping up here with me. It's been great. It's always great to talk to you guys. I can't wait till tomorrow. I can't wait till next week. It's pretty exciting stuff, and we'll keep an ear to the ground and a sky on the eye, or eye on the sky, and see what's going on in New York and Washington State and some of these other places. I will definitely make sure that I keep in contact with Jeff B and try to get some information, and may have to have him hop up here and let him tell us what he knows and what he's seeing, because it's important to stay connected. So thank you all for joining us tonight. I'll go ahead and pray us out, and I'm going to get out of here and get ready for the evening. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this wonderful time we got to spend with the Affidavit Mamas. They're just truly a blessing to me, to LWN, and to the nation. They're true patriots. They're God-fearing, God-loving people, Lord, and we just thank you for connecting us in this way, as so many of us seem confused and lost, that we're able to communicate across the interweb and be able to share information, Lord, and share ideas and have great conversations. And Lord, I just pray for everybody listening right now, watching, that they're all a hedge of protection around each and every one of them, a hedge of protection around the Affidavit Mamas and everybody that they're connecting to, Lord. And I just pray that everybody that watched this video can take something from it and use it for good, Lord. And I thank you in your Son's precious name. Amen.
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 All right, ladies. Sure do appreciate it. It's always good to see you.
It's
Good
wonderful
to see you too, Mike. We love coming on.
All right. Well, we'll be Podbean tomorrow afternoon at 3 Eastern Standard Time on Podbean. If you guys haven't signed up for Podbean yet, we are on Spotify and we are on Amazon Music. But if you want to catch the live version, we're on Podbean at LWN Podcast. It's easy to find us there. We have a great time, and we don't have to talk in code. So that's another great thing. We'll be back tomorrow evening, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain Time, right here on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Love you all. Have a great night.
Bye.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now. Looking for a sign of disaster, so I can make it there faster. I'm weighing the consequences out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll how you can